Good Wednesday morning. Proverbs 21:4. Haughty eyes, a proud heart, and evil actions are all sin. Righteousness begins deep in the heart that has humble thoughts and humble motives. Proverbs 30:10 says, wickedness can be seen on the face. If your heart's not right with God, fully obedient to Him, your actions are sinful. What a horrible and damning thing that sin is. Even the most innocent or religious activity can be sinful when it's done with an evil heart. God hates pride, condemns it a lot. Pride trusts and glories in self, and God is never pleased when we compete for His glory. God hates the proud look. The proud look is when thoughts of arrogance leak from your heart and they affect your face, your speech, the way you behave. Your first duty is to keep your heart humble before God and others. You should bow your head and confess that without His mercy you are lost. You must reject your own conceit and humbly esteem others better than yourself. If you will humble yourself under God's mighty hand, He will exalt you. Every activity you do must be done for God's glory. And the wicked, they never consider God's glory, only their own. Everything you do must be done in faith, which wicked people do not have. Every activity must include thanksgiving, which the wicked never even consider. The religious activities of a wicked man, they're the worst. His prayers and his sacrifices disgust God. What a horrible reality, to accumulate a bunch of stuff in this world with the only thing that you've saved for the day of judgment is your pride, which has absolutely no eternal value at all. Even when the proud put their offerings in the church, it's an abomination, because wicked men trust in themselves, they're unthankful, and they pursue their own greed and pride rather than the glory of God. God's not in their thoughts. They use His creation for their own selfish ends. They have no regard for God. They ignore Him constantly, and they reject Him. Before going to work, a righteous man thanks God for his job, his health, the sunshine, last night's rain, God's mercy in forgiving his sins, and the opportunity to work. While working, the righteous man thinks about his strength, the tools that God has given him to use, even the drops of sweat beading on his brow as he toils for the glory of God. At the end of the day, the righteous man gives help to his neighbor, cuts his grass, brings dinner to a lonely preacher, and thanks God for a blessed day, reads his Bible, confesses his sins, loves his wife, and lays his head to rest content. The wicked, before he goes to work, he complains about the fact that he has to. The sun beating down on him, the mud from last night's rain. He hates the fact that he can't play and he has to go to work. While working, he complains that he works harder than the guy next to him. He's frustrated that his tools are wore out and they're held together with duct tape. When a bead of sweat drips from his nose to the dust on the ground, he complains about his working conditions. At the end of the day, he complains about his neighbor's yard, the money-grubbing preachers, the long hours, the fact that no one understands what he's going through. He flops in bed in dread, awaiting another day. The righteous and the wicked. Sometimes it's hard to tell them apart. As you toil through your day today, which one will you be?